David, don't you just want to dance to that music?
We go over this every time.
I love that music. That means the show is on. It's showtime. Showtime. We already have one question from Zygmunt. Yes, Zygmunt, I'm doing coaching. Actually, I'm doing a new program. It's starting up January 22nd. It's a multifamily cohort program, similar to the hotel to home conversion cohort, but just for multifamily. And Molly's going to put the address. Just send us, there's the email, charlesdobbensvip@gmail.com. That goes to my sales department, and they will fill you in on all the details about the program and exactly how it works. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great, the hotel to home conversion we have put together a great team that is buying this hotel, and we're going to be doing the same thing with multifamily, putting together the same type of team. So if you're looking to own a property in the next 6 months and you're like looking to have us help you through the entire process, this is what you want to do. And I've got some good people already lined up to be in it. So it's going to be great. David, great to see you. Happy New Year.
Yeah, it's a new year, isn't it? It's time to make things happen.
Right. And you didn't have any problem celebrating January 6th, did you? Like, I know how you were all about January 6th back in 2020. I know that was...
No, I had gotten out quite a while ago. So.
Oh, you did? You did. You negotiated your release. Here's what's really bad. And this really upset my daughter, who is a new mother. And my grandson, my first grandson, celebrated his first birthday on January 6th this year. And my son also had a birthday on January 6th. So it's a big day in the Dobens household, January 6th. And my daughter was saying to the librarian, we're celebrating my son's birthday. She goes, oh, when's his birthday? She goes, January 6th. And the librarian goes, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, my daughter's like, it's the most glorious day. It's my son's birthday. How dare you, because of your political persuasions, ever think that this beautiful day could be ruined by your issues? So very bad, very bad. Anyway, all right, David. Guys, we're going to play Stump the Professor. David, you and I have not practiced this question beforehand, have we?
I didn't even know we were playing Stump the Professor until 5 minutes ago.
I was reading an article earlier today, and I thought, oh, you know what? This would be a great storyline on the call today. Let's play Stump the Professor with David Peters. So everyone here, David, this is an article that came out by Crexy.com. And actually there are two articles referenced in this, and I'll mention the other one in just a moment. But the title of the article is The Best Cities to Buy Multifamily Property in 2025. And they list 10 of them. All right. David, I'm going to ask you. Well, let's run through your list of top 10, and I'll tell you if they're on the list. And let me tell you something, David. Some of these are shockers, absolute shockers. Cities that we have never highlighted before. And it makes me wonder, just because I'm so jaded with all this stuff, makes me wonder if there was some quid pro quo going on with Crexy's article and these cities, because they are not your typical, they don't typically make the list of top multifamily markets. So David, give me some cities that you think would be in the Crexy top 10. I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. No, not Cleveland. It's funny you say that, because I just saw a property come up across my email feed that maybe you did too. Maybe you got the same 72 unit property that popped up that is in a suburb of Cleveland, and it looked pretty interesting. It looked like it might be a pretty good deal. But no, I'm going to tell you that the one in that came up in Ohio was Columbus. Okay.
That doesn't surprise me because there's been bantering about Columbus, Ohio for the last 5 years. I mean,
Yep. It says the Columbus rental market is characterized by relatively low vacancy rates and affordable pricing, offering strong cash flow potential for investors. It tells, listen to this. So the for sale asking cap rate is 6.0, and the sales over the last 12 months cap rate is 6.4. So obviously there's not much of a spread between the ask and the bid and the ask, or the ask and the buy. So that kind of tells you that the numbers are penciling out around the asking price. So, and the median price, this is where it gets kind of weird. They say the median sold price was $224,000. But that they must be adding in there a whole bunch of properties. And right now for sale, there are 263 properties for sale, multifamilies for sale in Columbus. And I think the reason why that median sold price is so low is because they're adding in a lot of 4-unit and 5-unit type properties.
So you're saying that's the median price for the whole property, not the median price per door?
Yeah, because when I look at other cities, that number is for the whole property.
Yeah, then they must be like considering duplexes
Exactly.
as multifamily.
Exactly. So yeah, that's one. Okay. That was one, David. So I'm gonna give you that one. Okay.
That's pretty generous.
I am. Columbus. I mean, if you had said Cincinnati, I would have given that one to you too. All falling within Columbus. But I think I've seen a lot of good numbers coming out of the Ohio Midwest area. Just when I say good numbers, meaning numbers that pencil out, multifamily deals that pencil out. And 6.5 caps, that's good cap rate. It's good cap rate. It's not like we're heading to, we're buying at the 4.5 and 4s like happened in the last couple of years, David. All right. So what's another city that you like in 2025?
Kansas City.
You know what? That did not make the list, but I agree with you. Kansas City is always a good city to do business in. I have a couple of clients that have made millions in Kansas City. The Colors, what's the other gentleman's name? Paul Worcester. Those guys have done phenomenally well. Slow and steady. You buy it right. You build upon it. You turn add value, and you're going to make a killing in those cities. And Kansas City is a good, solid city in the Midwest. So it's
very economically diverse now. People think of it as, having certain characteristics that dominate the economic land front, but it's really become like a really diversified city. They have technology there. They have, obviously you have the agricultural still, you have, they have some medical there now. So yeah, it's diversified a lot.
Yep. All right. Give me another one.
I don't know the cities very well there, but I would guess something in Connecticut.
No, nothing really. Okay. No, there were in the East, in the Northeast. I'm not going to say in New England, but in the Northeast, there were two that I just, here's the first one, Boston. Okay. Yeah. Boston is always, the parameters in Boston always, look good. The growth, I mean, it's almost, when you're only dealing with those communities where you deal with only 50% real estate, which what I mean are any cities on the coast, those are always going to be in high demand, and the vacancies are always going to be low, and the rents are always going to be going up. So Boston was listed as one of the top ones, but the numbers were crazy. Let me give you some idea as to what the numbers were in Boston. Median asking price, $3.3 million. 650, just to do a comparison, David, the average price per square foot in Boston sold was $655. Now compare that to what you and I just talked about in Columbus. Yeah. You know what it was in Columbus? The price per square foot?
180.
155. Yeah. So that just gives you an idea that you're dealing with a totally different world when you're dealing with Columbus versus Boston.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, California, you got markets like Boston too, right? Where it's like, if you're buying in Oklahoma, you can get a 100-unit building. If you're buying at the same price point in California, you get a triplex.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. One of the things here, David, is that in Boston, the asking cap rate was 6, and the selling cap rate was 6. So, but the thing is, these things do stay on the market. Right now, they're only 46 on the market in Crexy in Boston. Let me just go take a look at Columbus one more time.
There were a lot more, but
total days on the market in Columbus is 97. So, all right. Oh, and the other Northeast city, and this one I know nothing about. All I know is a couple of my clients have looked for deals outside of this city. Nothing ever penciled out. Just never made any sense. Northeast city, and it is. Oh, where are you? Come on, where are you? Where are you?
What is it? Washington D.C. or a suburb of D.C.?
That's not Northeast. That's in the.
I guess that's east,
below the
right?
Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
Here we go. Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Low vacancy rates, competitive rental yields, and infrastructure improvements make Philadelphia particularly attractive among our list of cities offering high ROI for apartment investments. The city's economic development initiatives, including revitalization projects and investments in its burgeoning tech scene, complement its robust eds and meds sector. So you're looking at a cap rate, the asking cap rate. This is amazing. The asking cap rate is 7.4, and the selling cap rate
7.4 in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so this is kind of weird. This is where it doesn't make any sense. I don't think they have enough numbers here, but the sold cap rate is 5.2, but the asking cap rate is 7.4.
Boy, that'd be a great city to flip in, right? Buy it at
Yeah.
7.4 and sell it for 5.2.
Yeah.
3 months later.
That doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, that's not right. That doesn't make any sense. And the thing is, you wonder if they're actually giving the right numbers here. Okay, so there are 3 of them: Philadelphia, Boston, Columbus. Or you said Kansas City.
I did.
So you were wrong. But go ahead, David. I mean, I'll give you partial credit. Okay.
I'm failing miserably.
No, you're doing all right. You're doing all right. Listen, if you can nail a state, I'm okay with you.
How about Orlando?
No, nothing in Florida. Can you believe that? Nothing in Florida. That's what I told you beforehand. This analysis, these top 10 are areas you would never expect.
Well, what about Atlanta, Georgia then?
No, David, that's 2 strikes against you.
That's
one more and you're out.
Strikes against me.
One more and you get the I'm going to beep you off.
Well, I mean, they seem to be picking fairly significant cities, right? They're not picking there's no Des Moines, Iowas, or Sioux Falls, South Dakotas on that.
You are correct. You are correct.
I don't know. The one that would seem like the absolutely least likely for me, maybe it's on this list just because I think it would be like the least likely for me, Portland, Oregon.
Nope, not on there. Like West Coast are okay. Let me run through the list because you've lost. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to be shocked at. I'm going to read them in no particular order, but you're going to be shocked at number 10. Here we go. Number 1, Chicago.
If you buy in the nicer areas of town, the rough areas of Chicago, there's no rent growth.
No.
And the taxes are very, very high. I mean, I'm outside of Minneapolis, right? So Chicago's a pretty quick flight for me. And I looked at a whole bunch of stuff in Chicago like 4 years ago. And everything like the ratio of in the C-class market, the ratio of property taxes to rent was like 17%. So in other words, like 17% of your rent went right to property taxes.
Yeah, that means you're partnering with the government.
Right.
The government's your partner. So they have an asking cap rate of 7.1 in Chicago with a selling cap rate of 7.8. Those are big numbers. That's not, those are those are not your capital appreciation play numbers. 111 days in the market, 252 listings. The thing is, I'm wondering, David, that there was a couple of big sales in Chicago. One of them was who's the guy? Grant Cardone, where he bought that big property for cash. I'm just wondering if that skewered some of these numbers.
Mm.
Okay, number two, there are two California properties, California cities. One of them, I'm happy to say, is one of my clients, and I'd love to see that he's buying there, is San Diego, and the other one is San Jose. And yep,
San Jose. I mean, that's. Are you playing on like a slight downturn in the tech economy that they got a little cheaper, or what?
maybe. Let me see. With a rental yields of around 4.8%, the vacancy rate in San Jose is notably low, approximately 3.5%, reflecting the high demand for housing in this tech-driven region. The city's strong economic performance, fueled by leading technology companies and innovation hubs, ensures a steady influx of professionals seeking rental accommodations. Let's see.
Yeah, those properties. How do you? I mean, do you pay cash for them or what? Because how do you finance that? I mean, do you finance it
Yep.
at 40% loan to cost or something,
Yep.
or what?
There's
I mean,
no.
the cap rates are well below interest rates there.
Remember, when you're dealing with those types of markets, you're dealing with a lot of foreign money that is just, they'll pay a zero cap rate. They'll just, do anything to put their money into hard assets
Right.
in the United States, which is tough on investors. My student's doing very well down in San Diego because he's out there pounding the pavement looking for deals all the time, and he finds some great value add. And the thing that's really helping him out immensely are these ADU units. And that's what, like, he's buying a three family that he's converting to a 6-family because of the garages in the back that he can turn into alternative
Right.
dwelling units. So that's pretty cool. Good for him.
Yeah, the prices in San Diego the rents are very high, and I think the occupancy is very high too. So
Yep. All right. So let me run through the list because you're gonna die when you hear number 10. Number 1, Chicago. Number 2, San Diego. Number 3, Columbus. Number 4, Nashville. Oh,
that to me is an overheated market. But
I look at that and I think maybe, I mean, this thing what came out today. I got this email today. This is like old news. I mean, I wouldn't consider that where it needs to be right now. Other one too, Raleigh.
yeah, I guess that one doesn't surprise me. I've looked at some stuff in Raleigh. I think
Yep.
Raleigh's not as overheated as Nashville, but it's definitely,
Yep.
it's not a secret that people are hunting Raleigh.
Yeah, and I got a student who's looking at a great deal in Charlotte. The same idea. Boston. Okay, here's one that's a perennial favorite, Dallas.
I was going to say Dallas, and I thought they wouldn't have that on the list because that's like so over. I mean, the population growth there is pretty amazing, right? It just keeps on going and going and going. But I mean, maybe they've like had a slowdown in unit production there, but boy, they were going like crazy for a while. They were throwing up new apartment buildings, 10 feet apart in Dallas.
And the number 10 number 10 city, David, with a median asking price of 1.6 million. And let me see if I get sold cap rate of 6.3. See, that's why I always amazed where
Like Honolulu, Hawaii.
Oh, David.
I mean, the only other thing I would say would be like San Francisco or Miami.
I can tell you right now, when I tell you what this city is, you're going to severely question the legitimacy of this list, which is why I have a second list for you as well.
Well, I guess the 1.6 million isn't per unit. It's
no. No, that's average sale price. Yeah.
Average sale price.
Yeah. So let me tell you what the price per square foot, David, on this one, $112 per square foot.
Yeah, it's the opposite end of what I was
Exactly.
thinking.
Yep.
Let me think. It's certainly not Phoenix at $112 a square
No.
foot. When I hear that number, I think of like Oklahoma City, Tulsa, somewhere in Montana, maybe. I don't know.
David,
That's a low number.
David.
Detroit.
Well, pretty close, I would say, and I think you would agree. Minneapolis, St. Paul.
$112 a square foot.
Now, folks, David has just moved to Wisconsin a few years back to get out of Minneapolis, St. Paul. So let me tell you, in the Twin Cities, the multifamily property market is characterized by a stable rental yield and moderate vacancy rates. Both cities are expected to experience steady economic growth over the next 5 to 10 years. The region is projected to see a moderate annual growth rate driven by its diverse economy, which includes strong sectors and the usual culprits. The area's strong economic base, supported by a diverse range of industries, contributes to its resilience and attractiveness for multifamily investments and rounds out our list of multifamily hotspots for 2025.
I think Minneapolis is an investable city, but I put it kind of on the semi-expensive end, I guess. And 112 a square foot, I don't know where they're getting that number.
All right. Now, let me tell you, folks, I'm going to tell you what you need to do to find this next report, which is another great report. First off, I'm going to type into the comments here a website that everybody needs to go to. Integra Realty, IRR.com, I believe is what it is. Let me just check to make sure that's right. But they give a great report, a viewpoint report every year. Yep, IRR. And you can get their viewpoint report just released, mid-year numbers. That's a phenomenal report that you can find out. What you'll see in that report is a chart that shows which cities are in which quadrant of the cycle. Remember what we're all learning about the cycles and where each city lies. That
I think you learn about those cycles in Boston.
Well, okay, you're being wise here. Yes. Okay, so there is one particular real estate coach who put these cycles up on his screen in front of his 1,000 people in the audience, and it showed which cities were in each quadrant. That information was stolen directly from the IRR.com viewpoint report that comes out every year. Make sure you go to check out that website, sign up for the report, download that report, and you'll see exactly where they are. As a matter of fact, while I'm sitting here talking on the phone, I'm going to download, see if I can get this report from them. Because I see someone had just asked a question about Indianapolis. There it is right there. Oh, actually, that's one of their offices.
I think the most recent one they have is August of 2024, it looks like.
Okay.
The mid-year.
Oh, did you
Yeah, it's an interesting chart. It's a little bit surprising to me. I mean, it shows Denver, Colorado, and San Francisco in recession, which I agree with, but it shows Austin, Texas, smack in the middle of expansion, and I guess I would put Austin in hyper supply.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to download it right now, and here it is. Let me just see if I'll pull up the right page, and so that you can all see it. Page 22. All right, let's go see if we've got it. And I'm going to share my
I was
screen.
able to just download a PDF of the chart.
Okay, I've got it right there. Here we go. Yep, this is it. Okay, so let me slide it up right there. Now I come back here. All right, present, share screen. That should do it. Perfect. Okay, now let me just go back and check the that student asked me about Indianapolis. Where'd she go? Oh, Zygmunt. Yep. So let's take a look at Indianapolis on this report. Um, here it is. Where is Indianapolis? David, can you see it?
When is that report from?
This is the new one, the 2024.
What part of 2024?
Oh, there it is right there.
The one that I had was from August of 2024.
Okay, I just downloaded the one that they just put out, published March 2024.
Okay, so mine was the mid-year. It's a little bit newer, but I think both of them show Indianapolis pretty close. It's kind of right smack in the middle of the expansion phase.
And I've got it. No, actually, it's now moved. According to this one, it's now in the dark blue, just before entering hypersupply. Hypersupply is showing increasing vacancy rates, moderate to high.
You're looking at Minneapolis. Oh wait, I guess Indianapolis is there, isn't it?
Yep, right there.
And
Minneapolis. Increasing vacancy rates, moderate to high new construction, low negative absorption, moderate to low employment growth, and medium to low rental rate growth, which is typical for a midwestern city. But that's where Indianapolis is, Zygmunt.
It's interesting because I have the one from August 12th or something of 2024. And that one puts Indianapolis square in the middle of expansion. So in other words, it went backwards on the typical cycle is, you go from recession to recovery to expansion to hypersupply to recession.
Right.
And according to this, it went from, the front end of hypersupply to the middle of expansion. It went backwards.
Oh, that's interesting.
In the cycle. Indianapolis.
That's interesting. Let me see where Louisville or Lexington is. There's Louisville. Right in the expansion stage.
Right.
Yep. Okay, that's about, that's exactly what we're seeing. That expansion stage with decreasing vacancy rates, moderate to high new construction, high absorption, moderate to high employment growth, and medium to high rental rate growth. So these are the areas. There's Columbus right there that we just talked about. Boston, Charleston, South Carolina, Oklahoma City, Greensboro, North Carolina. Austin, Boise's recovering. They kind of had a little downturn. It looks like they're bouncing back quickly. Las Vegas, Philadelphia, all the ones that we just talked about in the Crexy report. That's interesting. Columbus, yeah. So, folks, this is a great report. I highly recommend you get this so you can take a look at. What areas to look at. I mean, we're going to be talking about this on our cohort program call. I want everybody to really tap into those markets. It really does make a difference, especially when it tells a great story when you're looking to raise investment dollars. Okay, there's one other site that I want you to go check out. It's pwc.com. Let me just go and I'm going to actually share my screen so you can see this one as well. And you have to dig down a little bit on this one. And I'm going to show you where to dig down. So, David, you can see this, right? PwC. Yes. Now, what you want to do, this is the old Price Waterhouse. What you want to do is click on industries, click on financial services, click on asset and wealth management. Scroll down here to emerging trends in real estate 2025. All right. So this is where you'll see their report on the markets to watch for multifamily. And so, David, here we're getting into a little bit. They've got Detroit. They've got, I think this was Columbus. Yep, they've got Columbus. We've got Manhattan, obviously. Down here, this is going to be Nashville. Yep. But look at, they've got Charleston. They've got, what is this? This is going to be Tampa, St. Pete.
Yep, should be.
Yep. Down here, this is going to be Miami.
Yep.
Yep. Over here, we're looking
That's
at
an interesting one there. That's unexpected a little bit in my mind.
New Orleans. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Over here, this is Houston, right?
Yes.
Yep. That's
And
Houston.
one is Dallas.
Dallas. Yep. I'd say you're right. Yep. So there's PwC's top markets to look for. So this is all great stuff, folks. You've got to know where to find these things. I have, you're going to get all access to my training when you're in the, like where Molly put it. I was going to put that address back up, Molly, on that banner. There we go. All these types of training, get videos, tons of videos, but this time you're actually in a group coaching program with other people that you'll be working with and me. And I've picked out a couple of select members of my current grouping of people so that we all can work together. So it'll be a lot of fun. David, I might tap you for that too. You might be a nice little addition to that.
Yeah, I didn't see my invite in the mail, I guess. Maybe the mail hasn't come yet today.
Yeah. My post office is slow too, buddy. Yeah. So it's not just yours. But all right, so that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you folks. And just to give you an example, I have a 5 o'clock phone call with a seller. One of my students is getting interviewed by the seller, and he's very nervous and he's very concerned. He doesn't want to blow it, so he asked me to be on the call with him as his partner, which is what I do for my students and my clients. So I will be on that call at 5 o'clock today. And he's very excited about that. David, you missed the Monday Night Live call last night, didn't you?
I did. I was otherwise detained.
Yep. There's Gail. Gail, it's going to be awesome. It is going to be so great. It's starting to fill up right now, and I'm loving the caliber of people in the program that's rolling out on January 22nd. And so we're looking to fill seats. We are filling them every day. I'm happy about that. And so Gail, you'll be getting an email from us shortly with some of the teases to get you excited about the upcoming program. So Zygmunt, if you're looking to do any coaching, that's that address. Reach out to Kevin and he'll get you all signed up. And there's the address right there. So any parting words of wisdom, David? What areas do you like besides Louisville? I know you were going to say that. I wanted to stop you. Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Would the dog do that or something?
I don't know who did that.
I already said Kansas City, of course, right?
Yeah.
I think, as the world I actually still kind of like Orlando, honestly. I know
really.
I think there's a little bit of risk in the entertainment sector down there, or the tourism sector, but I think it's diversifying some now. Orlando isn't just only tourism.
Well, the good news is John Racine is in the cohort program, and he's from Orlando. So we'll have boots on the ground in Orlando if we want to start focusing on that market. There he is. He's here. Hot dog. I had a great conversation with John this morning.
Yeah, I think there's always interesting Midwestern markets. Generally speaking, I don't like, places that, like Branson, Missouri, or St. Louis, Missouri, or places like that. I think.
Wait, you don't like St. Louis?
No, not. There's areas of St. Louis that are interesting, but generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of St. Louis. Des Moines, Iowa is kind of an interesting smaller town play. It's growing quite a bit. there's some people who are doing new construction in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, that really like Sioux Falls, South Dakota. But that's a really interesting market. It's I own a property there, and it's you have like this high end area of Sioux Falls that is doing pretty well on the new A class, but the C class stuff doesn't show any rent growth.
Mm.
I mean, it seems that there's still like 6-7% vacancy, and there's not really much rent growth. So, I mean, I can't really recommend that sector of the
Unless you're
market.
still in the property.
I
But
mean,
let
I think I've looked at Greensboro, North Carolina several times, and I think that's another interesting market just because it's positioned, near that triangle area, right? So
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff going on in that area, and Greensboro is known as one of these inland ports. I mean, they have some really big distribution hubs there for some
yeah.
companies and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, I could see, and costs there to build might be, less than, say, if you're going to try to build I'm talking new construction, right? Raleigh, or say Charlotte or something like that.
I know Dallas is an inland port. Would you consider Louisville? Is Louisville trying to become an inland port?
I think Louisville is kind of an inland port
Yeah, I
already.
think so too. All right, let's talk about Zygmunt here. This is an interesting question. It's essentially dealing with like negative cap rates. With running numbers, would you be willing to break even or take negative cash flow if you knew it was in an expanding, rapidly appreciating market, knowing your cash could be good? I mean, obviously, you never want to be in a situation where you're overpaying for a property. That was
I think the risk is like you're going to have negative cash flow, but for how long, right? And I think that type of property would indicate to me that, generally speaking, you're trying to push leverage, right? When you've got negative cash flow. I mean, if you've got negative cash flow and you're 50% levered, that probably tells you something right there too, right? But I think the
yeah,
risk with negative cash flow is exactly what, I mean, the banks have been like playing games and things like that to keep a lot of these properties from going to foreclosure. But I mean, there's a lot of properties that had marginal cash flow, and then their cheap debt ran out, and now they're like very negative, right? Their debt coverage ratios are 0.7 or 0.6 or something like that. I mean, how deep of pockets do you have to float negative cash flow?
yeah. I mean, if you're looking at a property that's like you said, under levered or 50% LTV, and it's still negative cash flowing, like where's the upside? If it's, and especially if you're looking at an area like David and I were just talking about, like if you're looking at a Cincinnati, if you're looking at those markets that have slow growth, where you're just by nature you don't see a large rental increase on a regular basis, that's going to be a big strong no for us. I mean, the other thing too is if you're looking at a property that is, the reason why it is negative cash flowing is because it's poorly managed. Like you've got an absentee owner, or a mom and pop shop that they haven't gone up in the rents in 10 years. Okay, yes, those are steals. You want to get in there and grab those, and you'll buy them at a negative cash flow because all you have to do is start increasing the rents by $200 to $300 a month, and you'll still be below market. Yeah, that's a great scenario. But I guess my answer to this question is every deal is different, and you have to truly understand why is it negative cash flow.
Yeah, I think the implication that you're buying into the greater fool theory there, expanding, rapidly appreciating market, right? I mean, markets go through cycles, right? How long does the rapid appreciation last? Are you getting in at the front end of the appreciation cycle, or are you buying in at the back end of the appreciation cycle? And you don't necessarily have visibility into that. I think it's definitely, I mean, could it be a home run? Maybe, but it's higher on the risk scale in my book.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And I mean, I remember I was always taught early on, never buy negative cash flow. But never say never either. There's an exception to every rule except for one. Right, David?
Well, yeah, the universal rule, right?
Yep. Which is,
Oh, always remain in control of the deal.
oh no, that's the number one rule. But the rule that has no exception is there's an exception to every rule except for one.
Oh, right.
That rule has no
And that
exception.
rule is there's an exception to every rule except
Exactly.
one.
Except that one. Yep. So, hey, Zygmunt, I put the address on there. It's my name, VIP@gmail.com. That goes right to my staff, and that they'll get you the information you need to get you on board. But it's going to be a great 6 months. 6 months we're buying properties, and David, now's the time. We really have to start ramping up our acquisitions because this is a great time to do it. We've 20 through 24, the Biden era was a tough period. And free money was chasing bad deals, and those days are over. And now it's time to get back in the market. For those of you that have been on the wrong side of these real estate cycles, trust me, I've been there too. Now's the time to get back in, and that's what we're doing right now. It's exciting, very exciting. So, all right, David, thank you so much for joining us. I will give you a passing grade.
I don't think I deserve much more than a C, honestly. I did not.
I grade on the curve. You're just going to get a C on this one. So, and the fact that you got Minneapolis wrong, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I guess I should have included that you were kind of like hinting at the fact that I would be really surprised by the
exactly. If I had said, you said Phoenix, and I said almost diagonally on the other side of the country from Phoenix, would that have helped you?
No, that would have probably put me in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So, all right, David, great to see you. And thanks everybody else for showing up and being on here. There's a lot of fun. C is passing. Yeah, like somebody said to me the other day, this guy was number one in his class in medical school. And the guy said, hey, do you know what the guy who was bottom of his class, you know what we call that guy today?
Nope, don't know.
Doctor.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. It's like my old joke used to work where I said, I
know where you're going with this one.
Yep. Okay. I'm not going to do
where
it.
You're going.
You've been around too long. All right, everybody. Great to see you. And we'll see you once again on Thursday. And then also I'm doing some webinars this weekend about the cohort program because it is limited. We have about 25 to 30 people. I say 25 to 30. I usually open up the last 5 seats to my current students who have been in my program for years. And I know these people can do deals. And so if you want to work with people who do deals, you want to be part of that 25. And we're filling that part up right now. So, all right, everybody. Great to see you. Good, Gail. I look forward to seeing you too. See you, everybody.